What's up guys, Shawn here. So every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Central on my YouTube channel, we have a live stream. The topic last night was waypoint missions and how can you autonomously fly your drone and get precision shots by letting the drone do all the work. And I was introduced to this application called Dronelink. And what it is a cloud-based waypoint mission flight automation tool that also has an application on your phone that has the SDK built into it for DJI Drones. So when I found out about this, I went and did a bunch of research and set up an account, logged in, set up my first waypoint mission. Within an hour and a half, I was up and running and created my first flight plan using Dronelink. So what we're going to do today is I'm just going to share with you my experience this morning. I hope you enjoy it, guys. So here we are. This is kind of my neighborhood. As you can see, the satellite picture is only, like, all these houses exist now. This whole part of the neighborhood is here. And they're starting to build here. So they've torn down all these trees, they burned them up. I want to show you this flight plan that I did. Now I know that my house is right there. I know that this is my backyard. Okay, and all this sod right here is the green part of the grass behind my house that goes downhill. And I'll show you how I know that in a minute. But I'm not going to adjust this flight plan. I just want to show you. This is where the plan starts. So this little clipboard icon is where basically your takeoff point. And then I fly to here. So on my approach, I fly here to this destination, and I've got the altitude set to 200 feet. Okay? And it's give or take 15 feet. So it could be off with a tolerance of 15 feet, okay? And there were parts where it was like 196 feet up in the air. And then I basically have the path go over to here, and then swing around here, and then come around, and you can see the path, and the path comes all the way up to here. And then I fly over to the top of my house. Well, I don't fly to the top of my house. I start an orbit from this direction and fly around the house. And then from here, I fly over and do a 360-degree photo here. And then that's the end of my flight path. Okay? The other thing to notice, I've got this point right here. This is my point of interest. So basically, when I put this point on the map, it asks you where you want to start this point of interest. So from point 1, I basically fly from the takeoff point to point 1, and then I turn and look at the point of interest, and then I look at the point of interest through this entire flight. So how this differs from orbit is I have, a plot of land that's not a circle. I want to do a plot of land, but I still kind of want to look in the middle of it. So I've got this little point of interest here. So let me show you the components. So what I've got in this flight plan, the first thing I do is I set the return to home altitude at 200 feet. So I know that this tallest tree right here is about 60 feet. I know this house, my house is not 100 feet tall. And then, most of this area is gone, but this is a slight hill that goes up this direction. So I wanted to make sure I cleared all these trees, and I don't know what's going to be there in the future. So I wanted to go ahead and do a 200-foot tolerance so I can get around it. So that's my altitude. Start the video simple. So let's look at this component. So camera stop capture. So what that does, just in case the drone is recording already, it stops the recording. It changes the camera mode to video. So if you're in photo mode, if your drone's in photo mode, it automatically switches it to video and then camera start capture. And what that little piece of code does is it tells you to start recording because you're in video mode. Okay. So now I know that as soon as I start the plan, it's going to execute this. It's going to set the altitude for 200. It's going to start my video. I set the gimbal mode to FPV, so it kind of has a little turn, but it doesn't really turn that much because it has this point of interest. So that's kind of a waste. And then here's my path, and I've got the approach. Here I set 200 feet. So this entire flight path right here is 200 feet up in the air. I've got one point of interest. I've got 7 waypoints and 1 marker, and I believe this is a marker as well. All right. And so I fly this flight plan, and then I go to an orbit. Now I change the orbit to 150 feet up in the air, but I might go back and tweak that to 100 feet because I'll show you once you see the video, the orbit's pretty high, and I think I can go lower. And then here I want to stop recording, so I put that there, and then I did a 360-degree video right there. Okay. So here we are in the cloud, and as you can see, my my flight plan over here is the way it is, but this is something that's very interesting. Watch this, guys. I'm going to hit play, and I'm going to speed it up to 4 times just so we can run through this quickly. But if you look in the top right panel, it's actually flying through my path in 3D space. And it's showing me how high I am off of the earth. If you look over here, you've got this red, that's my field of view of my camera. I've changed the field of view on the camera to simulate my DJI Mavic Pro. And as you can see, it's kind of pointing at the woods right now. But it's holding this point of view as it's flying through. But as I can tell from this preview before even going out, that I'm going to get a nice little reveal of the neighborhood in the background. Okay? And you can see the takeoff point is over there at my house. And then we're going to fly around. And the reason I think this is so awesome is, if you're going to take off where a tree is, there's a good chance that you're going to hit the tree. So I was able to, after I saw this, I was able to adjust my takeoff point so that it was a little bit more in my backyard. And now we're going down and we're turning around and doing the orbit. Well, this shot allowed me to put my house in the frame. So I was able to frame my shot via this satellite image. And I think that turned out really cool. And then you can see it go over and take pictures of my intersection across the street. So it goes here, flies down to 100 feet in the air, flies over to the intersection, and then it starts going nuts, taking a bunch of pictures to create a panorama. So that's pretty awesome, guys. It's going up 200 feet. Executing, there it goes. Woohoo, this is cool, guys. Flying there, hopefully it'll switch to the point of view. There it goes. Point of interest is the middle of that field. Now it's just going to kind of fly around the point of interest. It's going to do kind of a curved cam orbit. Guys, this is cool. Checking to see if it's missing all the trees. I got it 200 feet up in the air, so it's not going to hit anything. So actually pretty excited about that. All right. It's got a nice view of the construction. I should probably spread it out a little bit. but I can see the drone. Everything's moving good. It's going really good. It's got about 5 minutes and 45 seconds left on this flight. Yeah, I did a pretty good job of remembering where the flight was. Now I see a plane coming, but the plane is way higher than the orbit that I've got going on. So we're gonna just kind of watch it. That plane's not even anywhere near my drone, so I think we're good. There's 2 people out on the construction site, but they're kind of in the middle, so I'm not flying over it. He's just kind of smoking a cig. All right. So I still have visual line of sight of my drone. I can still see it. Man, it's pretty cool. It's really easy to see my drone this morning because there's a cloud. There's clouds everywhere. So my drone is a black dot in kind of a bluish white distance. I'm a little cold. I came out here in my shorts and a t-shirt, and it's a little chilly, but I don't want to lose my drone. But so far, I am super impressed. It's doing a great job. You can hear the birds out here chirping, so hopefully a bird won't attack my drone. I'm gonna get back on the patio, so if it looks at my house, I won't be in the shot. Probably should have cleaned up the back patio. Can do that. Got great connection to the drone. No issues there. Did a good job figuring out where my backyard was, even though it wasn't on the map that I made the plan on. So that's cool. All right, where are we at? All right, we're right there. Sometimes it's kind of weird knowing where your drone is in the sky and then looking at your screen and seeing what your drone's pointed at because it's not pointed at kind of where it's flying, because all I see is a dot kind of flying through the sky, but I don't see the heading all the time. So right now it should be pretty close to over my house. Here we are. Guys, it's beautiful. It's flying smooth. Now we're about to switch to an orbit around my house. So now it's going to fly out to the orbit spot. And hopefully this is a altitude of 150 feet. Still pretty good. I'm on the back porch right there, but see my drone flying around me. It's pretty cool. It's about to go in the front house, so I'm not going to be looking at it. Got a couple of construction workers playing chicken. All right, it's about to finish up the orbit. And then next it's going to go do a 360-degree photo at the intersection in front of my house. So that should be pretty cool. So it's done with the orbit. Now it's flying over. Woo, it's flying down. All right, now it's flying over the intersection to the altitude of 100 feet. So 100 feet's still good. I think the tallest tree in my backyard is 60 feet, or at least it was back in October. I don't think it's grown much since then. But it's always good to go out and use your first battery to check the heights on different things in your flight path. So if there's like tall poles or tall wires or anything like that. Tall wires. If there's any wires or tall trees or poles, anything like that. Oh, I'm standing in the backyard. I need to move. I'm going to be in my shot. But yeah, so this is almost done. We've got 29 seconds left on it. It's doing a great job with the 360-degree photo. This is great, guys. I think for real estate, this is kind of a no-brainer. All right, guys, after a little stitching and a little Photoshop, we got our beautiful 360 image in the intersection. And overall, that was a really awesome flight, guys. For my first try, for about an hour and a half playing with this application, I think I got it to do some pretty amazing things. So yeah, hope you guys like this video. Please like, subscribe to my channel, click on the bell for notifications and when I put out more videos about Dronelink, drones, action cameras, live streaming, all the good stuff, guys. Hope you have a wonderful day. Peace out.